So it's time to begin the contest. And ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome our test speaker. Our test speaker is Toastmaster Nida Tahir with the speech title, The Map to Why. The Map to Why by Toastmaster Nida Tahir.
Have you ever done something in your life and failed miserably and then given up and never done it again? Have you ever thought about something you're doing right now and you don't even know the reason why you're doing it? Or do you have a passion right now to do something, but you just can't seem to find the reason of why to do it? Contest chair, fellow Toastmasters, and most honorable guests, these are the exact 3 questions I asked myself, and I came up with an equation. The equation is as follows. The reason why you don't do something is because you don't have reason enough to do it. The reason why you don't do something is because you don't have reason enough to do it. And that made me reflect back on my life, starting from when I wanted to start my career as a teacher. Now, I was one of those little girls who would put all her cuddly toys in front, and you would peek in the room, and what am I doing? I'm teaching my stuffed animals. I was so passionate about teaching. So when I grew up, I was like, that's it, I'm going to be a teacher. And I joined a school, my very first job, all very excited, and it was in kindergarten. So in kindergarten, you need all the energy, enthusiasm. They told me to shadow a teacher for a week, and then we're going to see how you're going to do. And I was so excited. I was quietly looking at what the other teacher's doing and thinking, that's it. This is my time. No more stuffed animals. I'm going to see the real kids. So the supervisor came the next day and said, Nida, it's your turn now. Let's do If You're Happy and You Know It with the kids. So I went in the circle, and this was me. Okay, kids, come on. Can you hear me? If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. Is this exciting you? Exactly. It didn't excite my supervisor either. The next day she called me and she said, Nida, I'm really sorry. I can see you're passionate, but I have some bad news. You can't be dead when you're talking to kids. You need enthusiasm. And it was my first job, and I lost it. I went back home thinking, I'm a failure. That's it. Teaching's maybe not for me. Until I had a conversation with myself, and I said, Nida, why did you want to teach in the first place? And I realized I wanted to teach because I enjoy being with kids, because I am enthusiastic. Yes, I am enthusiastic. And I went back in the teaching game, but this time, I brought my enthusiasm with me. So I went for my interview, and they wanted me to do a demo lesson in front of the kids, and I was like, hey kids, let's make a circle. Come on guys, let's make a circle quickly. Big circle. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. Oh my God, it was absolutely amazing. The same day, the principal called me in the office and said, Nida, we need this. We need a teacher like this in our school. And I was like, yeah, sure, pay me enough and I'm there. So they actually paid me exactly the amount I wanted, and it was absolutely amazing experience. If I left my failure to define me and didn't find my reason why, that's where I would have been. So what helped me was to have a conversation with myself. Why was I doing this in the first place? But then, when I moved on in life and I got married and I had a beautiful baby girl, I questioned myself again. God, why do you think I am worthy enough to be a mother? Me, out of all the people, a broken person, responsible for a little girl? And I felt really sad. I felt I can't do this. Now thinking about my beautiful baby girl, her name is Lujane, and she's 2.5 now. She was one of those kids that didn't start talking when she was 1. She started talking or making small words, saying small words when she was 2. And now she's 2.5, she's saying these small little sentences. One of them is when she cries for something and throws a tantrum, this is what I do with her. Lujane, no crying, where's your happy face? And even though it's not a very beautiful happy face, it's a half crying, half happy face just to make mommy happy, she does it. And it just brings so much joy in my life. Recently, for some reason and many reasons, I literally broke down and crushed into pieces. I was having a really, really, really hard time dealing with life. And honestly, I hit rock bottom. And for me, that was it. I didn't want to live anymore. And suddenly, my little baby girl comes to me. She kisses me on my head and says, "Mommy, where's your happy face?" And there it was. My why. My reason. Sometimes if you can't talk to yourself, trust me, trust the process. The reason will come after. And the last thing I would like to share with you guys is Toastmasters. How can you give a speech without talking about Toastmasters? I was such a quiet girl all my life. Now, as Muslims, we believe that we have 2 angels sitting on the right and the left that are constantly writing down what we say. I was so quiet that my aunt used to say, "I think your angels are bored, Nida. They have nothing to write." That's how quiet I was, until I came to Toastmasters. When I came to Toastmasters, I thought to myself, why does anyone want to know what I have to say? Who am I? Boring. Until I gave a few speeches, and one particular speech, somebody came up to me after my speech and said, "Are you Toastmaster Nida? Did you just give your speech?" And I said, "Yeah." "You changed my life. That speech changed my life." And there I found it, my why. If you don't have time to talk to yourself, if you don't find the why and you don't trust the process, then maybe somebody will give you that why. And that is why the speech title is The Map to Why. Because John Maxwell once said, when you find your why, you find your way. For me, with these 3 steps, I found my why. But now it's time for you to find yours. Thank you, and back to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nida. Now let's give 5 minutes for the contestants to prepare their notes.